Royal Highness Prince Charles and author Christopher Lloyd and 33 amazing award-winning artists from around the world are out with a new children's book called It's Up to Us, Building a Brighter Future for Nature, People, and Planet. Joining us now is author Christopher Lloyd. Welcome to Bloom, Christopher.
Thank you, Gail. Great to be here.
So, Christopher, what I love about the book is that it doesn't just state the obvious, that our planet is in a lot of trouble, but rather presents a beautiful, lyrical, and thought-provoking voyage through nature, the threats that we face, and an action plan for the future. I think that's my favorite part.
Yeah, absolutely. And the whole idea is to present the big picture. You know, children love to see the big picture. They love going up mountains and looking at the view or looking at the sky and the stars, you know, and it's the same with children's books, actually, and with this topic of climate change. Rather than just give them a few little practical tips like plant a tree or, you know, make sure you don't waste water, etc. We want to tell them the big story of what the world was like before people started, you know, messing around with it, and how beautiful nature is when it's in harmony, looking at different living things, whether they're invisible or whether they're visible, or looking at the water, the earth and the sky, a beautiful biosphere. And then looking at how people have disrupted this, you know, with consumerism and with plastics and with agribusiness and how farming has changed things and plastic in the oceans. And then, of course, the dangers that brings for the planet of global warming and rising sea levels, and then coming out into this really positive kind of landscape of things that we can do about it if we work together. And there's so much we can do. And what we want to do with this book is try and activate young people so they become the storytellers to convince the adults in their lives that actually we can make a difference. And that's why it's called It's Up to Us.
Yeah, that is so important, too, because, you know, this is a health and wellness show. And not long ago, we had a study linked to the mental health of children and their fears about what's happening to this planet. So I think this book is so incredibly important right now because maybe it gives children a sense that, hey, this is not just a runaway train. Maybe there's something that I can do.
Exactly. And the spirit of the book is really presented through the 33 different artists we've used from all over the world to present the story from different cultures. So it doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter your geography, your background, your beliefs, your ethnicity. We're all in this together. And I think that's what gives us hope, because you know, children can cut through all the politics and all the divides, and they're more connected with nature and their instincts than adults are. You know, we forget when we're adults that we're part of nature. In fact, we think we're apart from nature. But young people love to be outside. They love animals and pets and trees, and it's instinctive to them. So I think they are the focus of optimism for the future. And if we can present the story in a way that gives them that kind of opportunity to become the storytellers, then there's hope for all of us.
And you have some pretty big heavy hitters that stand behind you in getting out this message. How did you come to partner with His Royal Highness Prince Charles?
Well, I have to say, for 50 years, Prince Charles has been a crusader for putting nature and the environment first. And for a long time in his life, he wasn't really taken very seriously. And people sort of thought he was a little bit odd with his gardening and all the rest of it, and his passion for nature and sustainability. But now, of course, everybody realizes he's right. And he is a very authentic voice in this whole campaign to try and put nature first and put harmony back into the way we live our lives. So it's really wonderful to have had his support. He's written a foreword to the book, and he says a very important thing, actually, in his foreword that really frames the whole message of the book, that children have a unique curiosity for nature and for learning about this amazing planet we call home. That's because part of being young is knowing that we are all, in fact, part of nature ourselves. So I think it's a word from the wise, and I think having his support really adds a dimension to this that again is in the spirit of the fact it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from, we're all in this together.
And Christopher, sadly, we only have just under a minute left, but I did want to ask you about the 33 artists that are also featured in this book. That is quite a coup.
Well, actually, it was quite an accident because we didn't have very long to make the book. We wanted to get it ready in time for the COP26 conference in November. And we only started talking to Prince Charles and his team back in March. So anybody who knows publishing knows it often takes 18 months or 2 years to make a book. And we had about 3 months. So we started talking to illustrators, and all of them said, well, we'd love to do it, but we don't have enough time. So rather than getting one illustrator to do the whole book, we flipped it on its head and we thought, let's get 33 illustrators, one for every spread in the book, and let's get them from as many places around the world, from Israel, from Argentina, from Siberia, from Korea, from China, from the US, all the way, to New Zealand and Aboriginal Canada. So in a way, it was by mistake, but in a sense, it's really the making of the book, because you can see the huge, rich cultural diversity of the illustrators come through from one spread to another.
That's incredible. What a great bonus. Well, Christopher, thank you so much for joining us on Bloom today. I'm super excited about the book, and I can't wait to share it with my children.
Oh, thank you very much. There it is. I hope everybody will enjoy it, and thank you very much for having me.
And you can head to whatonearthbooks.com for more information. We'll be back with more Bloom right after this.